Hi, welcome to Kagaku Library.
Hi, I'm Akari Kazuna.
We are going to learn about chemical formulas today.
I'm not sure about math.
No problem. Chemical formulas are not math.
Is that so?
Yes. A chemical formula is the way of showing information of chemical substances using chemical symbols.
I see.
We are going to learn only a basic of reading and writing chemical formulas.
Since we will study only a basic, it will be easy today.
I wonder about it.
Really? Is it not so easy?
If you've never heard before, this might feel a little bit difficult. But I think you can figure out instantly.
Do you think so?
Yes, I think so. Then, let's start main part. We used to think about one atom. But today, we are going to think about the aggregate of atoms.
What's that mean?
Well, do you remember every substance is made up of the aggregate of the atoms?
Is it not an atom, but the aggregate of atoms?
Yes, actually this is big different.
Are chemical formulas related to the aggregate of atoms?
Sure, that's like the relationship between a piece of cake and cream on top.
Cake and cream. That sounds tasty.
A chemical formula shows what kind of atoms a chemical substance is made up of, and how the atoms are gathered.
Oh, I see. I didn't know about that.
All people learning chemistry decide them to see the chemical formulas.
Got it. So the chemical formulas are important, right?
Right. If chemical substances were bread, chemical formulas will be like strawberry jam.
Sorry? What have you been saying?
It's just simile.
I thought you were hungry.
Actually. But now, let's do about how to see and write of chemical formulas.
科学ライブラリー
I think you've seen the chemical formulas of H2O or CO2 before.
Yes, is it water and carbon dioxide?
That's it. First of all, this H2O and CO2 are the chemical formulas.
I kind of get it.
Well, chemical formulas express chemical substances to line up chemical symbols. This is the first important point.
Yes.
And chemical formulas show the kind and number of atoms in a set of chemical substance. This is the second important point.
What do you mean?
For example, H, O, and C as chemical symbols. Do you know the element names of these?
H is hydrogen, O is oxygen, and C is carbon, right?
Right. So water have the chemical formula of H2O. This means water as a chemical substance have a set of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom.
I got it. I can see this in that way.
Yes. A number put under a chemical symbol shows how many that kind of atoms in a set of a chemical substance contains. Are you able to count the number of atoms about carbon dioxide?
The chemical formula is CO2. So does this have 1 carbon atom and 2 oxygen atoms?
Yes. I think this is not so difficult. And this is the general image of these.
Oh, I've seen this kind of image before.
Please don't mind a little difference of how to line up the atoms of water and carbon dioxide. We'll learn this another day. For now, this image shows one set of a chemical formula, and you only have to know is how many and what kind of atoms is in a chemical formula.
Okay, it's simple if I only have to know the kind and the number.
We'll also learn later about the relationship between a name of chemical substances and a chemical formula. After you learn more about atoms and chemical substances, I think it is easier to figure it out.
I see.
Okay, then next, we are going to learn about a writing of chemical formulas.
科学ライブラリー
Is it okay that chemical formulas teach us the number and kind of atoms in a set of chemical substance?
Yes, it's not a problem.
We also have to know the opposite.
The opposite?
Well, you should know that the number and kind of atoms also teach us the chemical formula.
I see.
For example, this is a set of the chemical substance that contains 1 sodium atom and 1 chlorine atom. This is called sodium chloride, and the chemical formula is NaCl.
Each of sodium and chlorine means NaCl. Ah, got it.
We can write about other chemical substances on the same way. If a set of chemical substance contains 2 sodium atoms and 1 oxygen atom, then the chemical formula is Na2O. This is named sodium oxide.
Oh, there is a way what it is.
1 aluminum atom and 3 chlorine atom make a set of AlCl3. This is aluminum chloride.
I should write the atoms just as written, right?
That's it. It's like a easy task to write just as written.
Concho, can I write this Na2O as ONA2? I think that is easier to see.
You've got a point, but in Japanese, ONA2 means must.
You had better not say that.
What?
Ah yes. It's just a slip of my tongue. Okay, anyway, a chemical formula has a order to write.
A order to write? What kind of a order?
That's like this. It's good to write a metal element at first, and the next is hydrogen, a non-metal element. Then, oxygen or a halogen element is put finally.
Oh, it's many things to remember, more than I thought.
Actually not so many. Eventually, in most cases, you just know is the last part. I mean, you should know, oxygen or a halogen element is at the end of the line of a chemical formula. H2O, CO2, NaCl, Na2O, and AlCl3. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it does.
Well, it's still easy task to write just as written.
What a relief.
I think this kind of a chemical formula will be a little bit difficult. It's a set of chemical substance that composed of 1 hydrogen atom, 1 carbon atom, 3 oxygen atoms, and 1 sodium atom. This is called sodium hydrogen carbonate, generally called baking soda. That is the main component of baking powder.
Is that the ingredient of a cake?
Right. Then, let's make the chemical formula of this. At first, we put oxygen at the end of the line.
Okay.
The rest of elements are hydrogen, carbon, and sodium. The head of a chemical formula is a metal element. Then which do you think is a metal element?
Sodium?
Right. The head is sodium of the metal element. The next is hydrogen, so we put hydrogen after sodium.
Yes. And the next is a non-metal element?
Yes, this is carbon. Finally, we put carbon after hydrogen. It finished making the chemical formula of sodium hydrogen carbonate.
Is that NaHCO?
Please remember this set of chemical substance has 3 oxygen atoms.
Ah, I absolutely forgot. NaHCO3, right?
That's it. The chemical formula of sodium hydrogen carbonate is NaHCO3.
I've got it.
However, most of the chemical formulas we'll learn have only 2 kinds of atoms. Besides, one of the atoms is oxygen or a halogen element, so it's not so difficult actually.
Are you serious? I was relieved.
In chemistry, chemical formulas are used to describe chemical substances. So you should study properly to read and write chemical formulas.
Don't worry, I'm okay.
Okay, then that's all today. We learned about how to read and write chemical formulas.
It sounded difficult, but it wasn't.
I'm glad to hear that. Then let's finish up.
Okay.
Thank you for watching this video.
Please looking forward next.
See you next time.